Today we are at the retro corner, which means we're going to be playing a game from an era of the past, specifically in PC gaming. This is Machiavelli The Prince, actually. It's the game we're going to be playing today. And it's a game from the late 90s, which is definitely during the golden age of PC gaming. You know, if you've watched enough of these streams, you know I refer to that as pretty much the 90s, early 2000s, up to around maybe 2015. Really was the golden age for computer gaming, and this was definitely one of them. And I'm actually in a multiplayer game, so we're going to actually take a look at what that is. Now, like I said, I'm in the middle of a multiplayer game right now, and the multiplayer game involves a couple of other players that I've known. Actually, you can join the Discord and actually see some of the history of what we're doing here. Trying to see if I actually have a link to that I could share with you now. Actually, the Discord link should be on the Steam page, actually. And this screen will go too fast. Unfortunately, I can't read it. Next time, I'll prepare a script to read out while it's happening. But anyway, so there's a Discord. I got connected with 3 other players on here. And we decided to do a multiplayer game to just test out the beta version of Machiavelli The Prince, which is being released on Steam. Because when you play these retro games, sometimes they fail. Modern technology usually stays too far ahead of some of the older games to, they'll crash and whatnot. So I usually play a few turns in before I start recording it. I believe we're on turn 3 or turn 4. I can't honestly remember. I just got the save file back. So let's go ahead and take a look at that save file. For those of you, so you can see I have a new version for every single one. That's just because that's how I download it, and that's how we've been sharing it. We're on the 3rd one, so that's where we are right now. So let's go ahead and see this. I'm playing as Barbaro. The year was 1304, which means, again, we've played through a couple of years already. This is a random map, by the way. So we've made a bit of progress. I can tell you what has happened so far. Well, actually, it'll be easier once I get into the game, but here's the first thing. So Contorini has actually sent me a message, or Tommaso spreads the most dastardly rumors about you. Yeah, I should probably spread rumors about him too, if I can figure out how to do that. But here we are. Okay, so here's the game. Let me just quickly, oops, man, that's one thing I got to get used to is the map. The map moves now when I decide to move around the screen. So here's where we are. We start at Venice, which is up here. This is a totally random map. And this is one of the most interesting map generations I've ever seen. I think it must be because the setting for, well, you can see it's pretty much all one continent in sort of a shape of a 7, I guess you would say. Now, the further away you get from your starting location, which is always Venice, the map becomes less reliable and accurate. So that means, and also I've noticed also the sides in the map typically aren't always accurate either, such as it says there's a waterway up here, but I highly doubt that. It's very likely that that's actually just the edge of the map, and therefore your map doesn't tell you that. But as you uncover these, you'll see like it kind of matches in some cases. This is actually pretty accurate so far. But the further I get, just me having played the game enough, I know that it gets less accurate the further you go. And so I don't always want to rely on this, but it gives me a general idea of strategy-wise where I want to actually spread and explore, and which is all I really need at this phase of the game. Now, I will say at its heart, this is a trading game, so think a Transport Tycoon if you're into that. I definitely am. I played it on this channel, as you guys know. But this game is a trading game at heart. It does have some fighting elements. I'd say they're a little less refined than the trading elements, and thankfully the trading elements are really well done. I mean, other cities will have different different sell prices and buy prices, and some of them won't produce things and some of them will. So like, for example, I'm looking at Venice. Now Venice, by the way, in the base game, so there's a default map to this, doesn't always start with all of the same stuff here. So like, it doesn't usually start with ivory, but this one does, and that's a product of the random map that's being generated here for us. So that's that. Okay, so that's Venice. Now, Venice also starts inside of a river, which is, it usually starts as a coastal city, which, made it interesting because every single player had to drive, because you start with 2 ships, essentially, had to drive out in the same direction. So it really limited how far you could go on turn 1. if I weren't playing a multiplayer game, I would have quit this and restarted because I wouldn't have liked the map, frankly. But kind of glad we didn't, because it did turn out to be a little bit interesting. Now, I'm playing on a 4K monitor, so this actually looks pretty crisp to me, and I can actually see it. But this map, this continent is actually split into two, and you can see it right here. There's a river that separates the northern continent from the southern continent. So my strategy for the first few turns was find some cities on the southern continent. Because what I saw before, you see how these rivers look like this? I saw a river that went from here to here, and it turned out that was almost exactly right. The river followed the tiles almost exactly. There wasn't one that went to the right, I believe, so this is new. I don't know where that's going, but we'll see. What I ended up doing was two things. One, I sent the ship down here. I was debating whether I go up this way, because you see there's an icon up here that tells me there's a city. So these are projected locations where cities are, these little icons on the map. And I don't know if you guys can even see this based on the screen resolution you're viewing this, but you can see them. I can see them very clearly. So there are projected to be cities somewhere in this area. It doesn't have to be exactly on this tile. And also, it doesn't show you every city on the map. You just got to go explore there to find out. But for the ones that do have these little red dots, which of course translate into these icons on the map, these almost always do in fact have cities on them or near them. So I haven't encountered a game where that's just a phantom and it doesn't actually exist, which makes me wonder, what the heck is this? Like out here in the middle? This is very dangerous in this period of time. Most trade happened, you hug the coasts wherever you went. So, if this wasn't just a completely random map, and I've seen the map generator, how it works a little bit because I've done enough of these, I actually don't believe that this is just like a super lucrative city sitting out here in the middle of nowhere. I may be wrong, but there's a city called Shangri-La in the main map that really is actually pretty lucrative, and you should find it as soon as you can. And if it was like, if this was Shangri-La sitting out here, this would be incredibly valuable, and like this is worth going for. But who knows what that is? So that's going to be a low priority on my game right now, because the objective of this game is to basically play the last turn with the most money. And you can view that here. Let me see if I can see. It won't have much because we haven't played very long. So everybody's basically zero. Oh, okay. There's a couple of us that are at 2% for rank rating, which is practically nothing. And this is what our graph looks like. So the objective here is to have our net worth be the highest. So Contarini right now is in first place, I would say. Wait, no, is he? Oh, Barbaro. No. Corner is. He's in first place. Sorry, I read from... No, wait, he's only 3,500. It does technically say I'm in first place. I highly doubt that. I don't know how it's calculated. I think it's just calculating that based on how much money I have in assets plus how much money I have as liquid. Like florins is what we're using as currency. But yeah, I'll just tell you, Contarini knows how to play this game really well. So yeah, just keeping pace with him is about all I can probably do. But this screen here, I'll be touching on all these throughout the game. The most important one here is this. This allows me to buy and sell units, but I don't have enough money for that right now. Actually, how much money do I even have? Yeah, I couldn't buy anything right now, even if I wanted to. I need to do some trading first. My typical play style, for those who've watched these streams, I very much focus on what the goal is, meaning this game has the ability to like mess with other players. I'm probably not going to be doing that a whole lot. They'll probably mess with me. You already saw one person sent me a message, and I got to figure out how to send a message back to them. But I truly believe, because you've seen how I play Twilight Imperium, it's probably the best example, is I focus on the end goal, right? And if other players are involved in that goal or actively hindering me, then I will take it. I will do something about it. But like, I'm not going to intentionally try to attack somebody just for the sake of attacking them. My goal right now is to make money. That is the goal of the game, is to make money. So I'll be doing everything I can to do towards that goal. And to that end, that means I've got to find cities, and I need to trade at them. I need to find trade routes, and the way I would play trade lands as fast as possible, I'm trying to build loops. And there is a way to do that. Once you find a lucrative trade route, you just click this button, and then you can set it up. And for the most part, it's all automated at that point. So what I've got going on right now is I've left Venice. I found Calcutta down here. Calcutta, as I found, let's see. So I'm looking for things that have low buy prices and high sell prices. And I think I found this, which is, I think, cinnamon, if I'm not mistaken, which sells at 69 right now, which what I did was I sold that at Venice for even more. So I can sell it at 142. So that's one of my trade routes that I'm currently building. Of course, I'm at the mercy of the other players. I'm not the first one in order, so people could steal the stuff from me before I can actually sell it, or buy it rather, from Calcutta, and then I'm screwed. But there should be enough here that I can get at least one full trade ship each turn. Where it gets harder is if you're dealing with this, which is relics, gemstones, gold, and silver. If you find a lucrative trade route, so you got to kind of monopolize that before someone else wants to get involved in it as well. But yeah, I am, and the other thing is, I think Cairo gave me a relic, like not one that you would trade, like an actual relic. Like think pieces of the cross and things like that. You can capture those a bit in the game too. Going back to the big map really quick. So my intention, I have a ship here and I have a ship, well, I have a ship here and I built another ship right here. So I believe there's a city here, but you know, we'll see what that is. I loaded him with the cinnamon sticks from Calcutta because I traded and then went here to hopefully make a profit off this. And then I got one, so I said I got one trade route, and the other thing I got is a caravan, which I'm going to try to send out here to just explore, just to see what I can find. That's essentially where I'm at right now. So let me see, which ship am I moving first? This one. Okay. So effectively, I'm using this guy as an explorer, although he can carry a lot of goods right now. So there's another ship here owned by another player. I want to see what he sees, and he's faster than me, by the way. He's smaller but faster, and I'll show you that when we build ships later, assuming I get money to build them. Okay, so let's move in. Oh, okay. So you saw there was a sword icon there. Well, that became this city here. Now this is red. I can't trade here. I can at least look at it though. See, I'd have to bribe them for access. How much would they cost me? They want 35. Yeah, no thanks. There's no freaking way I can afford that. Not even close. But do they have anything I would want in this city anyway? I really don't think so. I've got a better place for this. This is okay, but that seemed better. I guess we have some gemstones nearby. The one thing about having gemstones at 313 nearby is it's going to completely... The demand for it will be less. See, 427. In some games I've played, I've seen it go as high as 1,000. And that's when gems are really far away, like on the other side of the map. So because they're not... you know, I don't know. Let's see, what's Tunis even? 427. So... everything that's going to be within my relative profit range is just not going to be worth taking gems to, and that city right there is the reason why. Okay, so let's move on. I don't want to go there, obviously. Now I have a choice. I can either go in this river, which probably goes to this city, to be honest with you, but this is a big ship. Okay, I guess I do have to show you ships really quick. Okay, so these two ships down here, you see they have the little like dragon head. These are galleys. Galleys can go on rivers, any type of river. These larger ships here with sails, these are cogs. These cannot. Okay, so I run the risk that if I build one of these bigger ships, I will not literally be, and that river gets small right outside of my vision. I basically just wasted turns. So I'd rather build a galley to search that. So I'm not going to go in there with this guy. I'm going to keep on going south. Oh, okay. And that turned out to be a good thing because there's a city right here. Okay, so let's see what we got. They also have gemstones selling at 256. Now I want to check something. 313. I mean, I could make a small bit of profit that one if I open that up, but it's gonna, the way you open up cities like this, I did that to bribe them, and I think what do you say, 3,500. 3,500. So like I would never make my profit back if I bribed them. The other option is I can bring an army down here and try to take the city by force. But if I did that, I have to hire them, and that costs money too. So either way, it's going to be expensive. So it's not even worth it, really, in my mind. But anyway, so let's go see what he's got here. So he'll buy this, and I'm pretty sure... Oh, okay, wrong button. Buy, sell. So I bought these at 70, which is... They came from Calcutta. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, which is now at 69. So I bought them at 70. So that means I could sell them at 129. It's 50 profit. I'm going to sell all of these. Now the question is, what do I want to get out of this? So I've got 256 on gems. That's actually pretty good. And I could sell them at, well, 379 is not so good. What other options do I have? 249. I mean, the other option is I can sell them in Venice, but this is really not a good trade route. Although 427 for gems, 426 for gold. Okay, 426 for gold. Let me see what we got here. 249, 250. These are basically the same. Okay, so what are you offering here? Calcutta is about 2 turns away. 304 on gold, 249. That's actually just about 50 profit. That's a very low profit margin. There's no reason to do that. 200, 212. It's more expensive to buy the gold here. Okay, and they have relics at 326. Let's see what you got over here. You'll buy them for 420, but there's only 2. It's almost 100 profit. That's probably worth it. All right, what do we got for, let's see, 199, 117. Ugh, this city's really not that good. Besides, how much money do I even have? I don't think I could buy anything. I have 840. Yeah, I couldn't even buy a full cargo load. I'm going to wait on this guy. Let's just see what else happens first. Okay, so let's go figure out what that shield is. It's Florence. Yeah, the shields are like usually cities in Italy. There's another one up here like this too. And I picked the wrong unit. So this is a donkey. Donkeys don't do well on sand tiles, which are these. So I probably need to get him off this as soon as I can. Okay, there's a river down there. A river that wasn't on the map. Oh, it's probably an extension of this river here, wherever that goes. Where does that go? Oh, that goes over to Cairo. Okay, which I've already discovered. All right, so this one has gold and it has cinnamon. I'm pretty sure that's cinnamon. We'll look at it here in a minute. This is cinnamon, yeah. So I can sell this for 70, 142. That's a great profit. And then I have gold. Bought it at 299, selling for 426. Okay, now I have money. Excellent. Okay, and the one thing I want to... Okay, so the thing I want to buy out of this is glass. Glass usually... It's kind of a common strategy. Anytime you stop at Venice, get glass. Okay, wait, hold on. Time out. One thing I messed up on. So I need to carry at least one troop thing. All right, so let's do this. That was a pretty profitable route. Did you come from here? You did come from here. So we're gonna go right back there. All right. And you've got grain. You came from Cairo. Cairo almost always has really low grain prices, which is good. So I have a choice here, and I don't know what I want to do. I think I can either gun it this way and try to make it all the way around, but I don't believe there's a pathway back on the top of the map. I just don't believe it. I'd be shocked if it is, which means I could have my ship trapped over here with literally nowhere to go, because this isn't like it's not like an island, right? It looks more like a continent, so this could take a long time for me to do anything with. So I'm actually going to take my time and go this way. My objective is to find a city up here that allows me to actually bypass most of this. Plus, I see a river here. It'd be really nice if the river kind of goes someplace beyond what I just see here, because that means there would be more to do. It'd be really interesting if it cuts off the entire thing, creating 3 continents that we can trade on, but I highly doubt that's going to happen. But anyway, so that means I'm going to go up here. Let's see what we got. We got Rome. Oh, okay. I have found the bones of St. Peter. They're sent back to Venice for the profit of 773. Okay, cool. I got more money. All right, let's 50. I bought this at 25. This is basically 50% margin. I'm buying that. Or, I'm sorry, I'm selling that. So let's see what he's got. Grog is probably the one at 54, but let's go ahead and check what it looks like. Oh, so just so you see what I'm doing, if you click commodities, you can compare the price of these things to other cities. So it tells me how many it has available. This is cities that produce it, and then this is demand, how many cities will buy it. So there are 2 cities that we've discovered so far, Genoa and Rome, which will produce this. And you can see they're producing it at a price of 54. And there are cities that will actually buy this in the 100 range, and these others are at 96. So this is usually a pretty good profit item. Yeah, that's roughly what, 50% margin. So I'm going to probably do that. Buy some of that, and then we'll just send you on your way. Let's keep going up the coast and see what else we get. At this point, now that I've discovered a city on the east side, I want to find a city on the west side. But we'll see what we get up here. See, this is a galley. This galley can do rivers. So we'll just go up here and see what we have. Okay. Now we have money here. what did I want to buy and what did I want to send back? So first thing I know I want to do. Oh, I have a soldier already, or a guard. Is that what they're calling them? Light guards, yeah. Okay, looks like somebody else is already trading ivory at this place, by the way, because I can see 3 are missing. All right, do I want to go forward or backward? I think. What was your ivory price? 199, and your ivory's 177. Okay, I gotta do some math. Let's figure out which is the most profitable one here. All right, so this is buy, sell. All right, ivory. You can't see what I'm doing because I'm doing it in Excel, but for ivory, the buy price is 117. This is all the key items I want to check. Ivory. The other one that I see on here is, well, see, I can only pull up 2 of these anyway, these relics, but let's look at the relics anyway. Let's see what the profit range is. So this is 326. It's expensive, by the way. Gems are 256. Gold is 249. Silver, even though it doesn't look like it has a full thing of silver, but I can't tell if that's just a graphic anomaly. See, this is one of the things about this game. When it stacks up like this, it has all this room, right? But it stacks it up next to each other, so you can't actually see at this resolution how many it actually has. I'd really have to look even further in. It looks like this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, and the way I can check it, I mean, I could do it the long way through the buy-sell screen, the commodities screen, which I will have to do to verify that I'll have enough to actually do anything with this. And the cinnamon is 129. I think I just put that there, so yeah. Okay, so that's that one. Now let's see what Calcutta looks like. All right, Calcutta will buy ivory at 199. The relic price is 420. I gotta remember too that it has ivory here already. Gemstones is 379. Gold is 304, but it has gold, so it's not going to buy it. And silver, 200. Okay, it might buy the silver. All right, let's see what the differences are. All right, ivory price is 82. Relics are 94. Gems are 123. Gold is 55, and I actually I lose money on the sorry, I lose money on the silver if I try to go that route. So hang on, sorry, let me check the my profit margins. The gemstones provide 32% contribution margin, 41% on ivory. So those would be the 2 I should take. The thing that concerns me on the ivory is that I see it has some, and that indicates typically. Okay, let me see. Okay, buy, sell, commodities. Let's go to Calcutta. Oh, it wouldn't have mattered. Oh, let's just go to ivory. Okay, so Calcutta. It is 8 available and its demand is 7. I don't know. That doesn't sound like a good idea. After seeing this with the gemstones, I'm kind of leaning in that direction. Let's see. Katsina 256. Selling them at Cairo is 355. It only can take 4. It can produce 11. Katsina can produce 11. Calcutta can buy 4 per turn. So I think my ship. Yeah, this cargo slot is 6. This should be fine, actually. Now you see on this screen, like they're wider. Like now I can see how many they are by just looking at the screen. But all right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna totally take a risk here, and we're gonna send you to Calcutta. Let's see if this ends up being a disaster. Okay, so my turn is over. I've moved everything I've got, but I got a lot of extra money that I just saw I had. Now, in the early game, I don't believe in keeping money. It doesn't make sense, right? You're trying to expand as fast as possible. So I'm going to build some stuff. For that, you click on this button here. This says galleys. And eventually, you'll see me go through every single one of these. I'll just show you really quick. So here you can do like illicit things. You can assassinate. someone slander? I bet you someone slandered me. Which faction are we messing with? This is the guy who said the thing about me last time, didn't he? But no, I don't want to do that, right? Like I said before, this is counterintuitive in my opinion. Like, spending money to mess with someone else isn't the way you win. The way you win any game, like, well, I'm talking about Twilight Imperium and my strategy with that too, is you got to focus on what you're doing first. I don't have the money to mess with anybody right now. I'm not gonna do that. I don't need this is warehouses, so it just shows me my warehouse is at the bottom. When you see me go to a city, these are where I can store extra stuff, and I'm gonna probably have to do it with the gemstones, by the way. So you'll get a chance to see that probably on the next turn or two, probably 2 turns, I think, is how long it'll take it to get there. And actually, now that I think about it, the long-term solution here is to probably just build a caravan between these 2 cities. Oh wait, at first I got to make sure this is not, I can cross this, because land caravans can't go against this river because it's wide. So I'll have to wait and figure that one out. And I could just build one now to go check it out, but that's kind of risky. Because I'm going to need that to explore, and I'm not desperate for it. I mean, so my ship takes an extra turn to get there. Okay. It's not killing me right now. It will once I start dealing with pirates, though. All right, this is game options. So these are what I can do. I'm not going to use any of these. Library. So I went to this screen already because I showed you how I saw the player graph. But here I can see trade groups, which once I find a trade route, I will be building trade groups, and then you'll get a chance to see that screen in firsthand. So that's coming. Mercenaries. You have no mercenaries to hire. Go to the hire screen. Yes. So this is how you hire armies. Now look. This is how much money I have, right? Look how much they cost per turn. I definitely do not have the income to be able to support this right now. And there's only 2 types, apparently. And notice that some of these can only go on water, some of these can go on land, and some can go on both. So this can go on both. But the cost per turn right now is prohibitive, and I can't do anything with that. And I won't be able to for a while, just being honest with you. But there's the mercenary screen. So that's how you build armies, and that's how you attack other people and other cities. So for example, I'm sure there's a couple, yeah, so like I could attack these cities and basically turn them favorable with Venice if I wanted to. These happen to be 2 very powerful cities. Usually, like in the base game, these are Genoa, of course, was the historic rival to Venice. And these 2 being so close together on this random map, we're probably going to see some fighting. That's my guess. And then, of course, you've got this. This is how you gain favor. So this is how you get more popular. And your objective really is to become the Doge. And this is, from my own experience, building a lot of these things is how you get there. The villa is the one you really want to go for, but it costs the most, so I don't have that kind of money right now. See, I could build it. Literally would cost everything I've got, and that would cripple me in terms of being able to make more money in the future. But that's that. So we'll use that screen later. And this, of course, oh, it's too bad. Well, I mean, I could buy a pope now. I mean, a cardinal, rather. But these are kind of the default countries. They have their own cardinals. You can purchase a cardinal, and the cardinal will give you money, but it costs money to get a cardinal. So again, I'm kind of too poor for this. I could technically buy one, but I want to see what my other options are before I do that. That's the church. And then this over here is how you get elected to become the Doge, which is the ultimate goal of this whole thing. Now, to do that, you got to get these guys to all want to vote for you. As you can see, a lot of them are red, which means they're not going to vote for me. Almost every single one of these guys is going to vote for the neutral player, which means none of the actual players that we have in the game. So yeah, that's over time. I will try to get some of these guys to vote in my favor, but not now. Again, I don't have that kind of money. And then the last thing, which is the buy units tab, which is where I'm going to spend most of my time for the time being. Now, I have a ship going up this direction. Okay. I want to explore down this way. So at Tunis, I'm going to build. Well, actually, no. The first thing I want to do is build either a donkey or a camel. These are land. These are not ships. These go on land only. But their cargo capacity is as high as a cog, but it's like half the price, so it makes it worth it. The question is, do I want to build a donkey or a camel? Camels do really well on like sand, the desert tiles, but donkeys do well on mountain tiles. So if I look at the map, and I can kind of see it already based on the colors, but I'll tell you what, you see these? I see there's a lot of mountain icons and a city behind a bunch of mountains. This seems like a mountain range to me, which leads me to believe I'm going to be crossing mountains before I'm crossing, and these are also forests up here. I believe I'm going to be crossing mountains before I cross any deserts. The desert's probably right here, by the way, where there's nothing. Another desert probably right here because there's nothing, is my guess. Which means right now, if I had to hedge my bets, I'd say I'm building a donkey. So let's do that. Let's make sure we're building it in Tunis. Yes. And you click donkey, you click the city, you want to build it, and then you click buy group. Oh, no, cancel. I built 2 of them. Okay. So yeah, you can build multiples at once, by the way, for a group. But right now I only want 1. Okay, I purchased that. Okay, so I got a donkey there. What else do I want? Now, this ship I sent back, and I need another explorer to keep going south, so I'm going to build another ship here. Who's that guy? Let me see. Well, I'll figure that out offline. Because he's got a galley that's a pretty fast ship. And I think he went... If he goes after me, he'll get every trade lane before I do, unfortunately. So, I don't know. Either way, I still need a ship down there. Let me go ahead and do it. So, Katsina. So I'm clicking here. When you click on the city up on the screen, up here on the top right, it automatically selects it down here on the bottom. And this is I'm exploring. So we'll go to the small galley. It's cheap. It's 400. Let's buy it there. I seem happy with that. I still have 1,300 to spend. All right. I'm going to do it. I'm going to build another galley. And we're going to do it in Tunis. Yep. So my next turn will be we'll have to make a strategy for what I'm going to do with Tunis. I will probably move the galley first to see if I find anything, and if not, then I will send... Well, if I do... I don't know. What the galley finds will probably have an impact on what I send this guy to. Whether I want to ultimately head inland, because there's a lot of cities inland, so I'll probably send him southeast. That's probably what I'll be doing. Okay. But anyway, that is my turn. I don't think I can do anything else. This turned out to be a decent move. And like I said, we're going to finish cleaning off all this. Which means basically I just gave up the entire coast to someone else. Wait, what's this thing? Is that a skull? Hang on. Is that a skull? It is a skull. Dang. All right. Well, there's something down there, and it's too bad I'm not going to get a chance to see it for a while. Oh, well. Anyway. Wait. Yeah, I moved everything. We're ending my turn. And then when you're ending it, you click here. And then you just save it. And then this game, we're calling it 3 multi. If you can't tell, oops, not 4, 3. Okay. And that's it. That's the game. That's the turn. We are done. And these actually are going pretty fast. So chances are, if I get another one, I will run it today as well.